Yeah, it's been fine actually. I kind of completed my assignment. Doing the final bits, just doing the slight changes and things like that, just to make sure everything is in order.
Great.
But I'm wondering, I'm supposed to do a similarity check. I've raised the question on the WhatsApp group as well. No one's answered me.
Sorry.
Does
Because,
the organization have anything so I can do a similarity check before I submit?
okay, our back office do the similarity check. Huh?
Okay.
We do flap scan. Yes. If you
Okay.
you can send them, they can check for you and create the report for you. We not normally use turn-in software. Yes, we use the flap scan, which is for the similarity check. Huh? Wherever
Okay.
wherever we have a doubt. Yes.
Right. Okay, cool. No problem. I thought we are supposed to do it like while I was in the university, we are supposed to do it and make the changes before we submit.
Yes, you're right.
Um,
So if we think there is a very high similarity, all been copied and generated by ChatGPT,
oh yeah.
we can send it back. We can say this report is too high. It's
Hmm.
not acceptable. If within the acceptable criteria, then we can say, okay, we'll carry on. Huh?
Okay, cool. No problem. So you will do the check and then let back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
come
when
back to
you
us. Yeah.
submit it, you will think there is, but if you want before that, yes, if you're
Mm,
submitting to learner work at ukversity.co.uk, you can
mm.
send me. I can forward to backend team and they can generate the report and send you back.
Cool. No problem. I'll do it today probably. Okay. Thank you for that.
That's absolutely fine. Huh? Always welcome. Okay, so I'm not sure whether will join us. Okay, so we'll start here. Okay, how's weather unit? Here in Leeds is quite chilly today. Really, it's quite cold.
Oh, the weather it is. Yes.
It's changed, huh? Especially today.
Very. Yeah. It is very chilly today. It was okay for the last couple of days, and suddenly it's just gone cold after
So
midday.
you based in London? Are you based in?
No, I'm based in Newcastle. It's much more colder than London.
Oh, yes, you're right. Public,
Yeah.
you're right.
But yeah, just staying indoors, heaters on full time, so it's okay.
Yes, here is at least we have central heating. That's not an issue. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, share with you, and we start in just. Sorry, slightly stuck in traffic on my way back. I'll drop message to everyone if anyone. Okay, welcome everyone. We'll start our lesson 3. Today lesson will go through our LO3, learning outcome 3. As you know me, my name is Anjum Sattar. Please, if you have any question, drop me email anjum@ukversity.co.uk and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Lesson 3, LO3, really indicative content, what we're supposed to learn, the legal principle legislation, case laws and ethical code. We'll go through different ethical codes. We'll go through the relationship, interaction, corporate governance, consequences of frauds, money laundering. It can be imprisonment up to 14 years. Tipping off can be 5 years, can be 10 years. So we look, the different, if we not really declaring, and the AML, yes, annual monitoring, those, and the money laundering is quite, because a lot of emphasis on. We have a Computer Misuse Act, we have the Cyber Crime Act, we have the Cyber Crime Fraud Act and we have a Bribery Act 2006 as well. So those are different legislation. As the member in practice, really, or member in as a student, even we have to follow, because we are member in of a professional body. Even as a student, 3.1, we look around the relationship between the legal principle, legislation, case law. 3.2 will discuss about different elements and malpractices, bribery act, offenses, penalties, and we'll discuss about computer use. All will be in our discussion. Welcome. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. So we'll go through ethics. What are the ethics? Ethics are the moral principles. Yes, so we need to be look around the moral principle is quite crucial. We need to be follow. So you have to be look around ethical or the whistleblowing in the concept. We have the moral value which we can, of course, this is increase your long-term reputation as an organization. We've been given 5 professional code of ethics really we need to be follow. Either we are member of any awarding body, whichever will be as IFA, of course, International Ethical Standard Board set the ethics, and ethics are the moral principle, and these come under the civil law. So member in professional bodies such as qualified accountant, after the code of ethics guide them, the ethical dilemma arise, and the several code of ethics like, don't put the client money in your own account. That's one. Don't charge the contingent fees, like I'll save your tax, and you pay me this, because all these are not acceptable behaviors. Like professional, we need to be not compromise the professional and the professionalism, duty of care of the client, and duty of wider interest of the society. Really, we need to be look around. A body of the theory and the skill, the technical skills such as auditing and accounting standard, like such as recently in 2019 is being IFRS 16, International Financial Reporting Standard 16, which is about leases being changed. So we have to be really carry on doing up CPD and update our skills and knowledge, and the legislation, the common code of practices as we follow all the professional body. Those are 5. Which will go through popular people chat in office. We discuss in lesson 1 as well, in return to member at the grant qualification using the title of ACC or AT or any other, depends, you want chartered or you want just accounting technician. Ethics are the ethical behaviors, so we can look around the law and regulation, reputation and standing, and maintain the public confidence. Public confidence is quite low after Enron, Price Anderson, the case, the company revoked the license of practice of audit, and they not maintain the document. And when SEC asked, the in case of Enron and World Telecom is the biggest scandals of, and the multi-million companies. It's been in the phase in the time space of 6 months being. So we have to be look around, avoid the conflict of interest. If your family friend our back-end commission are dealing with clothes, and we have the relationship like brothers, sisters, then their account, maybe the conflict of interest we need to be look around. You use your professional judgment, and always public interest is really matters, sensitive information, confidential. Be straightforward, honest, and professional knowledge, of course, which we need to be up to date, CPD, which we do. Okay, so these are the 5 professional code of ethics, please. Can we look just 1 minute, So if you want to memorize easily, sometimes we can easily mix them up. So you can remember the word is called the popular people chat in office. So you can say popular people chat in offices or office. So first P is the professional behavior. You can put in the system in order. Second P is the professional competencies and due care. Third C is the confidentiality. I is the integrity, and O is the objective. To remember easily, and that's which we need to be. Yes, we can look around the many the issues within those can be professionally dealt. Okay, so when we say professional behavior, comply with the laws, regulation, avoid inactions that bring the reputation of the profession disrepute. So a lot of issues we have, of course, a lot of standards carry on coming, a lot of compliance procedures, maintain the professional knowledge and skill, and diligently, yes, diligently we need to be. Yes, CPD is very important, at least, 35 hours working as a full-time, which is continuous professional upskilling, such as the Finance Act and the taxation carry on training, Even your member in practice, it depends your clients, to dealing and how much information we have. Okay, then of course, we can look on confidentiality. We have a Data Protection Act, GDPR, General Data Protection 2018. Old was DPA 1998. We need to be look around the confidential information, using such information personal. Third party not selling the information to, are using aggressively. We have 7 principles of GDPR we have to follow. Yes, so please, we can't transfer the data. We can say back office in other part of the world without getting the permission from ICO, Information Commission Office. And if you want to obtain some information, you under the Information Freedom Ordinance, you can have the right to ask, like public authorities, like if you want to look around the immigration figures or look around any how many people, how much tax, or the breakdown of the tax, where the government spend the money of the tax. So you can get it under the Freedom of Information. Okay, objectivity, uncompromised by bias, conflict of interest, undue influence. Of course, if your biggest money is coming from one client and they give you, let's say, £50,000 worth of the work in a year, so they may be influence on you. So undue influence, objectivity can be compromised. Are you getting the gift, like Christmas gift, have a heavily new car as a gift, or free holidays? Yes, so please use your professional judgment. Gift is hospitality up to £50 normally. Draw the safeguard, use your judgment, and decide, is it acceptable to take it or not. Okay, when we look at the integrity, is mean honest. Yes, implies fair dealing in the truthfulness. That's really we need to be always ask, give us, the paperwork really. Clients, of course, client can say afterward, but we need to be look around our own perspective to protect it. Okay, identify. Yes, code of ethics is a set of the basic problem solving procedures. Identify the fundamental threat to the fundamental, evaluate the threat is a high, low, medium. Apply the safeguard. Do we have a safeguard? No, like in our organization, not one same person issue the invoice, same person issue, pay the invoice, same person ordering. So this mean is a more risk if we can divide. Are you doing the cash wages in cash? That is risk. Of course, it can be maybe not reflecting correctly. That's maybe you can advise to client. Of course, they can still pay into cash, but that's why they're paying in the cash. When the system is already there. Okay, so self-interest, self-review, advocacy, familiarities, and intimidation. These are the threats lead to compromise our professional code of ethics. Thus, we need to be create the same. Okay, there are 2 things. When we say principle, ethics come under principle. Ethics is not rules. Rule is mean tick boxes, like the Data Protection, Bribery Act. These are clear cut. When we look the principle, sometimes it's morally you think, oh, you did the right thing, but maybe like a contingent fees, like I'll save you in your percentage of the tax saving, you pay me 20% of that. That's illegal to do. So really it's morally incorrect as well. So we need to look around the morality. Yes, always loopholes, creative accounting, finding, but we need to be look around the tax planning is illegal in law. That's no problem. Compliance with the law. Yes, criminal law, which is all the legislation. If we don't follow it, a bundle of evidence need to be if you want to charge someone. Civil laws, of course, ethics come under the civil laws, and we need to look around the accountant can affect by the law, which can may not be obvious. Health and safety legislation, think about employment protection. We have Equality Act 2010 in laws, and we can think about penalties and various other legislations, please. Yes, we have an International Federation of Accountant. We need to be look around the code of ethics, International Ethical Standard Board. We have a consultative committee of accountant bodies that we need to be well aware of. HMRC, we need to be look around the department and the tax, and we have a National Crime Agency's role as well. Of course, the Proceed Crime Act, we have 2006, holding the property by illegal means. Thus we can look around the business and the ethics and the professional values. We have the public. If you work in the public office and dealing with the like in the council and various other, you have the role there. You have to look around the loan principle or principle for public lives, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, and honest should be, and these, which we need to be look around. So business ethic and the professional value, the code of conduct is designed to influence the behavior of employees. It set out the procedures that used to be specific ethical situations which we look around. Please, that's are quite crucial, which we need to be follow those. Sorry, my slides move around. So that's really we need to be look around in yes, in the public life which we were. And next we need to be look around the sustainability as well. So a detail that the professionally promote the sustainability at work at your own organization member in practices can promote sustainability mean meeting the needs of current generation without compromising the needs of the future generation. We focus on 3 P's: profit, planet, and people. We need to be care about sustainable development, always improving the practices. That's why training and development is very important. CSR, corporate social responsibility. Corporate citizens should be good citizens. Look around economic, social, and environmental, how we can protect and promote well practices within these all areas. Any question from anyone, please? Okay, please, if any question, you can stop me. Okay, governance, risk, and ethics. Of course, governance is the major issue. Director. Okay, lot of issues is that the CEO of the company being paid in millions, but the workers not being. So we need to be look around that we have the remuneration committee decide, not your director of finance decide. But the how much who will get the bonus and things. There should be clearly SOPs in place. CSR is avoided interest of public. Really, we need to be work towards corporate failures is the highlight. The key part of the running business is lie the controlling risk. That's why the problem control mean the corrective action and the plan and control work together. Segregation of duty is most important things. You have to clear role and responsibility. And we say responsibility accounting if you've been given the budget, if it's been spent, and including internal audit. That's we can look around in 3.1. Okay, when we'll go through 3.2, explain the element and the consequences of malpractice, fraud, and bribery. Corruption include the illegitimate use of office or may include the range of different types of crimes. We have the Bribery Act is the limited to the give acceptance of the payment of other illegitimate advantages. With negligence, any act of or the mission which fall in the short of the standard and expected the reasonable. And we can look around for claim and negligence. It can be yes. So please, we have the indemnity insurance should be in place. The losses client can suffer if suffer like penalties we not submitted the return. So you have a duty of care if you breach it. So it can be consequences. So we can look around the application fraud. It's usually defined as individual use their own name to apply the financial product, but use the false information, which does also come under. So intention is very important when we look the fraud. Otherwise, it can be mistake or error that not come under the fraud. So like identity theft, mortgage fraud, credit and debt, yes, card fraud, fake, charities, price and lottery fraud, and the debt collection fraud. So these are number of. So corruption is the bribery and other behaviors in the relation to the person. Untrust is responsibility in the public and the private, which is a violate, their duties and is aimed to be obtained, undue advantage of any kind themselves, which we can look around the main form of the corruption, the bribery meant and the fraud, and which is we can look around example include not limited to the bribery, it includes excessive hospitality, maybe that can be not good to be. So you have to draw the safeguard, accept it or not accept it, as we mentioned, the gift. Reflection of the good relations, yes, pay, reasonable travel expense in order to demonstrate the goods and services the client if reasonable and proportionate for the business. So we have to look around other, lot of, it can be false things, payments and various others which we need to be look around. Facilitation we need to be look around. Sometime it can be extra there. Facilitate, or giving the thread of even we have the Disability Act 2010. Yes, so those people not understand and we get the benefit out of it. Their payment putting in our own account and then saying, the money being. So please, we need to be clearly draw the safeguard. So in look around in the law and as well. Buying boards, yes, are the practical parties, are political parties, are at the moment like a lot of people maybe think about in this way. Tesla boss, yes, the payment and then just shares and then now the public office. We need to be look around and judgment what is right and wrong. Of course, sometime in law and in the practice can be, and we look around the awarding body. Wherever we have doubt, we can ask to the awarding body. They can guide us, and the corruption and bribery. Yes, we can look around offering, promising and give accepting uh, soliciting an advantage of inducement. We need to be make sure illegal, unethical breach of trust. So we need to be trust is very important in any profession, but in accounts is it's more really we need between client and bribery is becoming 1 trillion industry. Okay, accounting profession, self-regulatory, then the financial council. We have all I think. So please, you can in paperwork let need to be cross-checked. Limits maybe on we can look around the professional practices. We can promote professional behaviors mean complying with the ethical standard laid down by the professional bodies. We discuss the code of ethics. Reactive and proactive approach, taking the responsibility of any negative consequences and appropriate mending those practices to remove the consequences in future, and proactive seeking out positive contribution to the public interest. That's we need to be example accountant fail to identify the risk of special purpose of entities and establish the enron like hide the debt, and it's not been picked by and been agreed with the companies by sorry by the auditors of Anderson. In that case, we need to be make sure we have, there is a good, like sometimes it's good to be after few years, 5 years. If you're a regular SAM audit firm, it's better to be rotate people. That's also is a good, to promote good practices and the public interest and the benefit of the wider society until the society whole request. Okay, always we need to be look around how we can promote public interest is very important. All the laws can be supersede in term of, and we need to be look around the public interest is well-being, general welfare, and the society. That's which we need to be an accountant can promote. Okay, so those can be example for this. And 3.3 we looking explain the offenses and the penalties. Money laundering, the process which is the proceed of the crime act, true owner of the goods when we saying is that can be manipulating and giving the things which can be leads to criminal property, including proceed of the tax surveillance benefit obtained through the bribery or the corruption's benefit. So we need to be look around failure to comply with the regulatory requirement. We need to be look around, and terrorism, the sponsor of ideology, that's also is come under. So Money Proceed Act 2002, concealing, converting, transferring, removing criminal properties. Yes, part of arrangement, the facilitating acquisition and control of the criminal property, are using and processing the criminal property that also be under the Proceed of Crime Act. So the money laundering can be 14 years, tipping off 5 years, and failure to disclose can be 5 years. So we need to be very clear. These we draw the benchmark, and it's good to be you have a paperwork and keep your record, record keeping others. If there is a suspicious and IDs, so please, ID fraud is a happen with even with a lot of, in mortgage and various others. So we need to be look around, use your judgment, ask the IDs, because taking the clients, signing the form, what we can, what we can't, deception designed to be personal gain. Fraudulent behavior constitute, criminal activity that can be leads to the significant consequences, including imprisonment. There are the many types of the fraudulent behaviors connected to the company. They include inside dealing, like the shares and the market and buying and recommending, money laundering, bribery, and fraudulent and wrong trading, are manipulating inside traders and holding the shares, injecting more money for time being, yes, calling the AGM and then declaring before that, offering to the friends to buy. All these come under, and we have a Company Act 2006. We have to be follow those. Of course, we have a memorandum article association. They will need to be clearly designed. That will help into. Okay, then business name under the Company Act S62, criminal offense. to use a name that required prior approval, yes, and approval has not been obtained, then we can say, this that. So that's, which we need to be look around these. Corporate name and address of the service document. Company director disqualification act we have. Company director is been in, it's been involved any other. It need to be a cross directorship. Sometimes it's conflict of interest. Those we need to be personal liability about the death and during. Like here, phoning companies, we can look around insolvency act we have. The apply the person was the director and shadow director of the company for the 12 months, ending the day before the company went into the liquidation. The provision apply 5 years following liquidation. The prevent the person being directors with the company with a similar name and the name suggested association with the previous company without leave the court and the criminal offense of which we can contravene, the provisions. Those we need to be look around in term of. Okay, then there are the other legislation which we can look around, explain the offenses and the penalties and the computer misuse, cybercrime. Of course, we have the piece of the legislation, criminality to act, modifying the data store. We have the data analytics, of course, a lot of data fraud. It can be up to 10% of the company turnover if the data breaches happen, can we find 10% of the turnover of the company, which can be in millions, like Facebook being 40 million through the not data secure, unauthorized access of unauthorized, are intent to facilitate commission further, offense, unauthorized act, which can be. We have the Fraud Act 2006, which we obtain the property by deception, obtain the money by deception, obtain the machinery by advantage by deception, and obtain the service by deception, which we need to be look around. The Fraud Act is all secretary deceptions. We have to look around as accountant. Really, we need to be promote true and fair information, and we need to increase the trust. Independency, and the client and accountant should avoid bias or the conflict of interest, undue influence. We need to be strong, the characters and the professionalism, awareness of your legal accountability and penalties, and awareness of your professional and accountabilities and disciplinary action, and awareness of the negative impact. So maintain the professional independency. Yes, financial interest. We need to be look around the direct, indirect influence. We interest in the shares, equities, securities, and all, because nominal and preference shares, and of course we can do the trading, but true and fair information should be. Direct financial interest honored by the directors and under the, and they work, and they promote the cross directorship can be raised sometime issues. Intermediaries, our individual control of everything, in the company, especially in the public limited, because the public interest is more. Consult your supervisor, consult with a higher authority if any issues. So please, we can consult with our regulatory IFA, their ethical helpline as well, gift and hospitality, and with self-interest we mentioned earlier. We need to be make sure draw the safeguarding. We have a bribery act 2010. So the three areas really being bribing another person, being bribed, and bring foreign public official, and failure by the commercial organization in preventing bribery. So we need to be make sure we not being taking back end money which not reflecting in our fees. That's it's not right. Or back end we getting or promoting or recommending you can go this organization, and back end we are getting commission. That's also come undue, which is not ethically morally correct. Acting with the sufficient expertise, yet fundamental principle, core and competent. We said maybe we're not, but we are looking the potential threat, the time pressure, insufficient, inaccurate, lack of resources, lack of experience, knowledge, and the possible safety and obtain additional, advice or training, ensure have enough time, get, help from someone relevant knowledge, and consult with the spurious, independent expert views, and the public. Okay, money laundering, client money, which we mentioned earlier. You can't, like, if you're dealing with the properties and like SRA, solicitor, and buying and selling things, so you have to be client account. You have to be look around your personal service account where you charge the fees. It should be two separate, and that's any money withdraw or paid, it should be properly from those accounts instead of So policies for handling client money, yes, handling separation. Client money should be kept separate, not used. Client money should be used for only the purpose for which they are intended to, like paying tax on the behalf of them maybe, but not using for, oh, I make the down payment and then we can pay back. Yes, accountability, you must ready at all time accountable money of authorized inquiries. If we need to be policies handling money, there the money is invested in the business client, not regulated. The reason to be believed the criminal property, there no justification to hold money, and the condition and the license registration are, we can look around the product. Fraud by the false representation, fraud by the disclosure of information, and abuse that came to confidentiality and disclosure. Yes, we can look around the information shared with the explicit provisions and maybe kept private and confidential information shared with the professional and the client relation. We can look around the data protection. Now we have GDPR and data control and an ICO role, not transferring the call centers or the data, the client data, or the client's record, in other part of the world, which is crime until we get the permission from ICO. Confidentiality and disclosures should be the right information should be disclosed, and it's ethical moral which we can declare, like IFRS 16 leases, commitment, and the treatment that can be should be reflected accordingly. Please, I included some for ethical and the risk extra handout. Please, you can copy and read further if you want to enhance your understanding in these areas that can be in the real world, can be various areas which we need to be, and a lot of examples. When we'll go through assignment discussion, we'll pick a few examples which we can include in our assignment. And thanks for attending. Any question, please? So today we discuss health and safety. You can look around the money laundering, crime proceed, bribery act, yes, information freedom act, as well, and ICO roles. These all promote good practices, and the wider interest of the public is the key. That's really we can look around. Any question here, please, if you have? Very welcome. Or yes, Farooq, any question?
No, exactly. I've just kind of done most of it at the moment. So yeah, at the moment I'm fine.
Okay, so you can...
There's one question before. I'm thinking of submitting my assignment. So since I've already started a long time ago,
Yes.
I never had the live sessions before. Now I'm supposed to submit one of those what do you say, forms along with it.
Your the little form is a declaration. It's your piece of
A
work.
declaration form, yeah.
Yes, that's all. Yes, please. It's better to be the top of the assignment. You can sign it. It's your piece of work. Huh?
So
Doesn't
is
matter.
it going to be inside the assignment or a separate copy?
It's like a front cover, on the sheet. Huh?
Okay, okay, right. It's going to be right at the top before the assignment. Yeah.
Yes, it's my true likely piece of work. Huh?
Right. Copy paste into the assignment itself. Yeah.
That declaration.
Okay.
Not
all
more.
Right.
No worries. Okay, because we internally mark and then we send to externally. So yes, because we have a...
So even for a feedback, do I have to put in that at the moment, or?
No, that's absolutely fine. We can give you the feedback, but if you want, so we can give you separate feedback without, you can submit it, and then our internal team will give you the feedback. Huh? And
right. Okay. Cool.
They allocate the grade based on the internal moderator and all. Then we can set internal, because final grade technically it can be like in a university provisional grade, yes, until the exam board. So exactly the awarding bodies as well.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right.
They are awarding. We just on the behalf of them we are following the guidance.
Right.
Okay. So that's all from my end. Thanks for attending. Have a lovely weekend. I will speak to you tomorrow.
All right. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.